All right, you guys, today we're gonna work on the butt of a rifle. So I've got a really beautiful rifle here from a gentleman. I mean, look at that. Looks like a patina, but it's just the way that they finish the metal. But it's model 1873, just a beautiful lever action rifle. I'm keeping it in the case here, but you can kind of see, just look at that, the wood on that, it's really awesome. What we're doing though today is we're actually making a kind of a butt cover for this. And so you can see that I've already taken some paper just to make a template, kind of a mold of what I want to use. And so we looked at some different materials. I met with the customer, Brent, and we went to the leather store just to take a look at what they had there and looked around at a few different options. But what we thought would be best is to do some deer hide. It'll stretch really good. And that kind of natural look of that deer hide will make it really look authentic. And you know, being up on the reservation for a couple of years, a lot of that stuff is wrapped in deer hide, or a lot of ceremonial things are kind of made with that deer hide. So it's gonna look so good with this color of wood. So we're gonna go ahead today and just kind of show you how to make that. It's pretty simple, relatively speaking. The deer hide's a little expensive, that kind of gets you, but ultimately, it's a pretty simple project if you have a rifle that you wanted to do yourself. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so what I did is I just found, you know, a couple of pieces of loose leaf paper. It's really anything that's just really, you know, flexible is what you need. I went ahead and wrapped my two pieces here around this butt of the gun. And so with this gun, there's actually kind of this cutout here that goes around. So what I wanted to do is kind of almost form that with my paper. And I know I want to go right to here on this gun. And so if we look at that, I've kind of got it wrapped all the way around and kind of, you know, scored right there, and actually drew with a pencil where I want to cut my leather. And you're gonna want to cut a little long just because it's a lot harder to add leather back on, kind of like cutting your hair. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna go ahead and kind of finish scoring this. I'm gonna cut this line right here on both sides so that I've got basically a piece of paper to act as a template. And then I'll take it downstairs and get my deer hide and cut a chunk of deer hide that's gonna be the same size. Now the deer hide is actually gonna be a little shorter once you wrap this because of how thick it is. It's just gonna leave just a hair short. So that's why you wanna go a little long. And then the nice thing about deer hide too is that you can really stretch it and pull it. So we're gonna stitch it, and we're gonna go underneath the gun here and cut our template. And then it's gonna go right up the back here, just with a stitch. So there's gonna be a stitch here and a stitch there. And I'll show you how to do that after we cut our leather. Okay, so now you can see that I cut both sides of this, and it gives me a little bit better idea of what sort of leather, what the leather's gonna look like. And it's probably, boy, that's pretty darn close. So when you stitch this together, you're gonna really pull those ends in nice and tight, so that'll look nice. But it doesn't have to be real perfect. I mean, you can see that I kind of cut jaggedy. But when I lay this out, what I'm gonna do is transfer this to a piece of cardboard. You know, you can use like the back of a cereal box or something, but once I cut this here on the bottom, then I'll have this basically, you know, template that just fillets open, and then I'll be able to cut an exact piece of leather that I want for this. And so, like I said, you always want to cut a hair long, that way you can always trim, but if you're short, that's a lot harder to fix. Okay. So I'm just going left to right, working towards me. So I go on top, so it's going underneath and out the top from the left to the right. Pull it tight, and then I'm going from the right side over the top of this string, the thread, through the hole and out the top. Left to right, through the hole. And then this one goes over the string, in the hole, and out the top.